Mr. X here, this is the Xtreme channel, and this is the New York Comic Con 2019 summary. So New York Comic Con 2019 is over, at least for me. It's still actually going on for a few hours. But I'm home, flew home yesterday, and I wanted to put together a summary really of three things. One is some of the highlights of the statues, because this channel is so heavily involved in statues. Two is some general things about the con itself. And three, what we're probably going to talk about most is kind of the experiences and the people that I interacted with. And that's what I'm actually most excited to talk about, to be honest with you. But we're going to hit it all. So with that, tune in, buckle up, and I'll fast forward the intro for you. Mr. X here with the Xtreme channel, and I just got back from New York Comic Con 2019. It was my first time to Comic Con in New York. Not my first trip to New York. I've been there many times, and I had an absolutely amazing time. It was fantastic from start to finish, and I kind of wanted to walk through the whole experience for you guys. We're not going to go into super detail. You're not going to know the length of my shits or anything like that, but I want to take you through my experiences. And before I do that, you guys, some of you probably already saw, obviously I uploaded statue content, and I'll kind of talk about that. I love doing that. That was really easy and fun, but it is work. This is work. And a lot of the rest of the trip, I was just having fun. So I didn't necessarily take videos and pictures because that kind of takes away from the fun aspect of it. So some of these other things that the channel is branching out into, I don't always purposefully film or edit with the intention to put it on the channel. But I do want to share that with you guys, but not at the expense of me enjoying the moment. With respect, that's more important to me than sharing it with you. I didn't want to miss out. So it was just great from start to finish, and I'm going to kind of walk you through the sequence. And so we're going to talk about statues at the beginning, in the middle, and the end. We're going to talk about people, so that if you really want to know, you're going to have to tune in for the whole thing. Not just a hat rack. But let's start off. So I flew in Wednesday morning and left here, not too bad, because you guys know I'm a 3 or 4 a.m. riser. So I was at the airport and I grabbed some fuel for the day, which typically I don't eat breakfast or anything like that, but I knew it was going to be a long one. So getting some fuel, and I turned into one of those weirdos that takes pictures of my food. That I did do intentionally for you guys because I like you. Not love, at least some of you. Yeah. Anyway, no event flight, which was pretty cool. I fly a lot, so that's not really a big issue. I did get wasted on the plane because I like to do that because it's entertaining to me. And I caught up on a few things, some Stranger Things, and Annihilation. I watched that movie. Weird fucking movie. I really liked it till the end. Go check it out. It has Natalie Portman as the main character. But when I landed, I met Barsami. And Barsami and me, Barsami is the equivalent of a couple. So you're going to see him in some pictures here, but that's what I call them, Barsami, because they are one. But we had some surprise for the rest of the people. So we get picked up from LaGuardia in a 10-person stretch limo to surprise everyone else. And you know, they had construction going around at LaGuardia, so they actually had to lead us down an alley to get to the limo. And Barb was like, yeah, this is a total setup. We're so going to get raped and mugged. And so I got excited, but no, it didn't happen. So we get in our limo and we start having fun, and we go and we surprise two of the coolest dudes on earth who I want to talk about more later, PJ and Tim. And we pull up to their hotel, or the hotel that kind of was the central point for everybody. And we start driving around and we start getting wasted. And we posted some live videos on some Facebook channels, and to me this was one of the funnest parts of the trip. We were just getting to know each other. We felt like we were already brothers, sisters, except for Osami and Barb. That would be gross. But just an awesome time, making stops, calling people, having it was just amazing. And we definitely are going to do that again sometime, and Osami was ready to book a limo for the rest of the entire trip. Well, then after that, we drunkenly checked into our hotel rooms, which if you've ever been to New York, very small. That's not what she said. But I invited PJ and a Tim up to my hotel room just so I could remember where it was at. When I was going through my pictures, I had to take a picture of the door because by that time we were just tanked. So then we met up with a number of other people, including Mr. and Mrs. Sinister, Brian from XM Studios, Johan and Sasha, Charles, so many different, and we went to Keen's Steakhouse and again had an awesome time. We started sobering up a little bit so we could enjoy our food, and the food was very, very good. We tried to get into a little bit higher end steakhouse, even though this was, $80, $90 a plate, but all those reservations were booked. So awesome service, awesome food. We really enjoyed it. And after that, we decided we'd try and connect with everyone else. So we went back to the New Yorker, which was not my hotel, but kind of the central hotel that the majority of people were staying at. And we connected with some people across the street. Tons of huge YouTubers and Facebook people there. We connected with Mr. and Mrs. Jem. We connected with Cisco, with Alex, with Brandon. There were so many people, and I'm probably missing them. But we went live again and just got wasted through the night. So after that, I cut out. When I cut out, I don't say goodbyes. People notice that. I just leave because I'm done, and I think goodbye is kind of a fruitless action. So one of my favorite parts of New York was whenever I was walking back to my hotel, because I was quite a ways from everyone else. And I love just seeing the sights, putting in headphones, listening to music at full blast. And it's such a cool experience, which I did film some of that. You guys will see a little bit later. So after about 3 hours of sleep, I get up and do some work, maybe 2 hours of sleep. Get up, do some work, get some energy drinks, get things going. And then I went and connected with the XM team, who was also staying at the New Yorker. So big shout out to XM Studios. Just so you guys know, I don't get anything free from them. Actually, I kind of did this trip. He offered to buy me breakfast, but I said no. And then after they checked out, I got a Red Bull because I needed some energy. But they got me into the con early, which I did appreciate, and I filmed all those statue tours. So I do want to talk about some of the statues now. The highlights for me, at least for XM. So with XM Studios, some really impressive stuff to me. First, I want to talk about the Harley Quinn. I like the original concept better, and I am digging this Harley. I only dig the samurai type, the helmeted portrait, which I don't think I have any pictures of here, but here's some different shots. I don't like the color of the bike, so I'm a little disappointed on this. So this one I'm really on the fence. However, I'm not on the fence. I think the Robin with the hooded portrait was the star of the show. I think the other portraits aren't the best, but this one is a day one PO for me. I think they knocked it out of the park with sculpt and paint. Very, very cool piece. I highly recommend. Some of the other ones that were really impressive to me were some of the 1/6 scale, which I'm not going to go down that route. But if you are looking for DC line, I highly recommend XM Studios 1/6 line. And again, I don't get anything for saying that, but their Green Lantern was phenomenal. Their Dark Side just knocked it out of the park. Some other really cool ones as well. Their Harley Quinn. Really cool pieces, but the star of the show obviously was the Justice League diorama, the Justice League vs. Darkseid diorama. This piece was magnificent. It was so good. The concept, they have a few things on the sculpt, I think, the details, which they're not done with, which can be better, but every person is showcasing their power. Batman with his Ghostbuster gun is a little questionable, but they may change that. Otherwise, I absolutely loved it. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I have to buy it. I haven't seen the X-Men vs. Sentinel one in person, but I did order it because I'm stupid. So I think both of them next to each other would be awesome. And right now, the only place I could actually put them would be right here at this table. So also I went and filmed PCS and Sideshow and Queen Studios that day, but to mix the film up a little bit, I just want to talk about PCS. I'm very excited about PCS. So their pieces, their prototypes look phenomenal. Their most recent pieces they gave to me for the price point are decent, are pretty good, and I think they're going in a positive direction. I'm really excited about some of the stuff they have to offer, and I have high hopes. So hopefully we'll see what else can come out of them. So after I was at the con for a while, and someone reminded me that I keep saying so during my reviews, and let me back up a little bit. So while I was at the con, I got to meet all these people. There were so many people I got to meet, and a ton of them, what you see on camera, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, that's who they are in real life. And I like to hope and think I'm the same way. And it was so cool. Whether, you know, I spent time with Gina B collecting, I spent time with Cisco, a lot of the Darth Castle crew, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and just meeting these people in person and sharing the passion. A lot of us got asked for photographs, which was kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. Jem is the exact same in person as he is on camera. You will not find him and Fee a more legit people. They were some of my favorite people. Everybody, not everybody, but I have a lot of favorite people on the trip. So just hanging out with these people during the con. But what was really exciting was after. So I went back to my hotel, got some work done, and then a bunch of us connected at Cat's Deli, which if you've never been to Cat's Deli, it's Harry Met Sally, that famous scene, the orgasm scene. It's known for their pastrami. I've been there, but it's been quite a while. So we went in, we got a big ass table, a lot more of the Darth Castle crew showed up. Thor and Rodney finally made it. It was such a good time hanging out with those peeps. And Joe was there. I don't think Ro made it to that, but Dead Cool Pool, Roger was there. God, I know I'm missing people. And we just chilled, got some tables together. It was a really, really great time. And that night was actually the most sober night for me. So, there I said it again. See, so. But after that, we went to a barcade, which is an arcade that's a bar. And Gem Mint really proved he is the Gem Mint master of video games. He kicked everyone's ass and everything. So, shit, I said it again. Very impressed. Props to you, sir. But after that, kind of an early night, and again, as I'm walking back to my hotel, just listening to music, and the weather there sucked. It was 50s and rainy, but New York is pretty neat if you are okay without the huge people factor. It was a beautiful place to be. Very next morning, I get to the con early again to get some more footage on some other things. Some of the booths I checked out that day as well. I spent a lot more time at. First was Queen Studios, and I saw the T800 bust, and it was just as good as I hoped it would be. I have it on back order from a distributor that I'm not very happy with. Not on back order, but just taking forever to get here. And I was going to cancel because it's such a big chunk of change, but I don't want to after seeing it in person. And then I was there as they revealed their new 1/3 Heath Ledger Joker, which is very similar to Sideshows, but seeing it in person, guys, it is better than Sideshows, and I have Sideshows ordered. But they also revealed, I was there as they first revealed the 1/2 scale Aquaman, and the prototype looked fantastic. Half scale sucks because it's so big, but if you're just going to go in for one line and one big thing, I highly recommend this. And I have confidence they'll do great on the head sculpt because their busts have been killing it. Queen Studios, great conversations with them. They are legitimately very humble guys, just trying to figure out where they can make an impact in this market, and they really listen to collectors. So, said so again. I also checked out Sideshow, as you guys know, and a few highlights for me from the Sideshow booth. First of all, the quarter scale Hot Toys Vader I thought was awesome, and I ordered it drunk a few months ago, and I'm so glad I did. It looks great. To me, it looks like one of the best quarter scale Vaders out there, and I have Mythos, which is technically 1/5. I have the Iron Studios, and I love its posable. I love all the switch outs. Really excited to get that piece. Another piece that really impressed me was the Scarecrow premium format. It's amazing in real life. And I think I was talking to Ro, and he didn't like it. So it is definitely dependent on someone's taste. Then it was also my first time seeing Gambit premium format in real life, and I can see why everybody is drooling over it. It is fantastic. It is one of the best Sideshow statues I've ever seen. And I actually have 3 other Gambits on order, so now I'm in a Gambit. Is that what you would call it? It doesn't matter. But it is a fantastic piece. I got my eye out on the low stock alert for the exclusive because I only saw the exclusive portrait, so to me it'd be an exclusive or bust. And the last sideshow piece I want to talk about is the Cyclops. So here's my quick interpretation. Great paint, great sculpt. I like the optic blaster effect in the middle of the base. But I think they played it so safe, and I think they played it safe because they know they have enough Sideshow-only customers that don't reach out outside of Sideshow that they will for sure buy it. And I wish they would have put a little more time into the creativity to it to figure out something different, but it does look very good in person. Another thing at Sideshow, which was really cool, is one of the times I was over there, Susan was over there, and I really respected that. Susan and Zach, some stuff went down with Sideshow. Only a few people know what happened. I don't know what happened. It's none of my business. But she's so passionate. Her and Zach are so passionate about the community and the collectors. They went and hung out there, and they got lots of love, as they should. So really cool seeing her, talking to her. I'm a big fan. I don't watch the unboxing videos anymore because they're just not entertaining. But yeah, another highlight of the trip. And again, another person who, how you see on camera, that's exactly how they are in real life. So very cool. Another thing I want to touch on with the con in general is it's overcrowded. They need to figure something out. They need to limit number of ticket sales. It is way too overcrowded to the point where I can't believe the fire department allows that many people in that space. You can't get anywhere, and one of the other problems you run with is people just don't pay attention to other people. So they create more damage and more, clogs. And speaking of damage, a couple of XM studios were damaged because idiots. And speaking of damage, a couple of XM studios were damaged because idiots. One cool thing about XM studios is they don't have the cases, so you can get great photos and videos. But collectors are stupid. Not collectors necessarily, but people viewing them. So too many people. They need to figure out something to do. I don't think I'm going to go back for that reason. I think next year I'm targeting Singapore convention, GCC, and possibly San Diego, but we'll see. So that night, when we got all finished, Sideshow was actually throwing a party. So a bunch of us connected. I had to get some of those X-Men Molina art prints. I picked up a couple for people. I had to get them to them. So we met at the New Yorker, hung out there for a couple hours. Some other people joined us. A few new people to the party. Mac hadn't been around, and I met Lady Mac. I spent a lot of time with them. Absolutely love both of them. How you think they are, they are. They're just fantastic people, humble. Really, another Johan, one of the most humble guys I've ever met. Very, very cool. Loved hanging out with him and Sasha. Some other people I ran into, Rome Ross, folks, such cool guys. I'm sure I'm missing dozens and dozens and dozens of people, so I apologize for that. Also, Todd Johnson. I talked to Todd all the time, but I finally got to hang out with him for a long time. So we hung out all night with a whole bunch of people, kind of at the Sideshow party. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And just down to earth, cool as shit. Absolutely loved it. And you know what's funny is there's all these Facebook posts about New York Comic Con, and on one of them, Todd called me a dick. And it was joking, but kind of a funny insult. And I read it as I look up, and Todd is sitting across from me because we're eating dinner. That was funny. So Sideshow had a party that I'm sure the budget was $30 at this Irish pub. And it looked about 50, 60 people there, and it was by invite and ticket purchase only. Thankfully, a good friend of mine hooked me up, and he got me a ticket. However, I didn't need it. I couldn't go into the Sideshow area because there was actually there wasn't anything restricting people. At the beginning, I couldn't go in, so I hung out with some of the other people that we were with that weren't invited and didn't get a ticket. I couldn't get a ticket because I'm blocked. I don't know why. But eventually we went in and started stealing food and hanging out with other people, so it was a good time. And then after, I'm trying to remember where we went after. We went to karaoke. There's about 20 of us. We hooked up at karaoke and we got our own private room, and we saw so many drunk people sing tone deaf. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And once 1 or 2 in the morning hit, I had to take off because I had to get up early for my flight. So I walked home again, had my peaceful walk home, and it was just an awesome time. So that's kind of my summary of New York Comic Con. Hopefully you hung with me. A few things I want to point out. Number one is I really want to give specific shout outs to a few people, even though I may have already. Number one, Thor and Rodney. Man, I want to spend more time with you guys. Didn't get a lot of time with you, just cool dudes. Most importantly, I want to give shout outs to Tim and PJ. These are guys that they are awesome. They're just really awesome. And Tim was giving me shit before he went there. He's like, are we going to be best friends after this? I think we are, man. So really appreciate all their hospitality, all their help. And there were so many people on that list. And what we have to figure out, and Mr. X can do it if you want, we're going to meet somewhere that's not $450 a night for a hotel, where you don't pay $18 for breakfast. So it can be a lot more affordable. Everyone can come, whether it's local in the Northeast area and we get people to fly in, or we find Southwest or Frontier airlines to a local central place like Chicago or Kansas City or Denver or LA or something like that, where everyone can fly in and out for like $100. We are going to get another activity together that doesn't have to do with the con, because in my opinion, that's the best part about the con, is meeting and hanging out with other collectors. Experience of a lifetime, I would say, but it's not, because we're going to start doing it a lot more often. So that's what I thought. If you went to the con, let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them. If you have any questions about the other collectors, let me know and I'll answer those too, because some of the shit that happened in New York stays in New York, and that's all I can say. But yeah. So that's it. That's all we had. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. It was nowhere near as cool as it was being there. So thanks to everybody. If I missed you, again, I apologize. Unless you were someone I purposefully missed because I thought you were an asshole. But I'm kidding. Am I?